So you're starting your detailing business because you obviously want to make money. Now, there are several ways for you to actually make money. There's one, the obvious, you need to get customers, you charge them, duh. Two is you can raise your prices to make more money. If you're making $25 an hour and you want to up it up to $35 an hour, then you're now making an extra 10 bucks per hour. Or a different method you can go is just simply getting more volume in. So if you're currently making, if you're getting in, 10 cars per week, up it up to 15, keep everything else the same, and you're making more money. Now, the last way, or just a different way to make more money, is to simply finish a car faster. So if you are taking, let's say, 2 hours and you're charging $50 an hour, then that's $100 in those 2 hours. Now, if you want to up your hourly rate, maybe finish the car in 45 minutes and now your hourly rate goes up. Now, that's a real simple example just to keep the math simple, but the point is, the quicker you can finish a car, the more money you can make without really charging more for the service. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 7 tactics you can use that I can guarantee you would dramatically cut down your detail time so you can make more money. These are by far the most frequently used tactics or strategies that I use on every car. Now the great thing is that I use this as a checklist format. And as you can tell, it's much shorter because I cut the edges, so it's a lot smaller. So you can download the tips, the actual checklist that I use on just about every detail down in the description below. It's literally this one page, it's laminated. That's something I highly recommend is you laminate it so you can crumple it up, you can put it in your pocket, you can fold it around, and it's still gonna retain its shape without ripping, without crumbling up. Laminating it is key. So download this little checklist down below. So tip number 1 is you're gonna wanna work and sprint. So not like a marathon where you're gonna steadily keep your pace. With this tactic, it's gonna work in hard sprint. So 30 to 45 minutes, you're just gonna crank it out. Then you're gonna take a 5-minute break and then go at it again for another 30 to 45 minutes, and then take another break. The cool thing about this one is that you already have a set time that you're gonna work, and then you're gonna have a break. So it's a hard, pure pedal to the metal, and then you're gonna take that little break. Very effective. Tip number 2, which piggybacks off number 1, is you need to move with urgency. When you first start detailing, you're gonna be moving fast for the first 5-10 minutes, and it's very easy for you to lower your pace down without you noticing. So you want to keep a visual on your timer. So on your phone, when you set those 45 minutes, those 30 minutes, then just keep on looking at it to see how much time you have. That way you're always moving with the urgency of, let me finish the seat before the time runs out. Let me finish the headliner before the time runs out. Let me do the window before the time runs out. You always want to give urgency to your detail. Tactic number 3 is you want to lower the time you have to complete the detail. So if it is that you quoted the customer 6 hours to complete the car, you in your head want to give yourself a superficial time frame of 5 hours. And no matter what's happening, no matter what service you're going to perform, try and finish it within those 5 hours instead of those 6. Now, of course, sometimes it's not plausible. Sometimes things are going to happen that are going to set you back. By all means, you still have to deliver an exceptional service at all costs. But with that being said, keep the time stamp in your head is that if I had set 5 hours to the customer, or they have to leave in 5 hours and there's no other way around it, then I need to finish the detail within those 5 hours. Set that superficial time frame. Now remember, you don't have to worry about writing any of these down. Just download the checklist down below for this checklist here. It has all 7 of them. Don't worry about it. Just download it and put it to use. Number 4 is work on the areas that look like they're gonna take the most time and energy. So this kind of falls on your willpower. When you start the detail, you're most likely gonna have the most energy and the most motivation to get things going. So if you spend 3 hours of your time working on the little things that aren't so difficult, and then the last 3 hours are on the most difficult part, then it's gonna take you longer because you use most of your energy on the small things rather than on the things that are gonna give you the biggest challenge. So on a detail, figure out what's gonna be the most difficult part, what part's gonna take you the longest, work on that first, and then finish the rest of the car. Because once you take the big hurdle out of the way, the rest of the car will be a breeze. Tactic number 5 is you need to keep your work area clean and organized. As you're detailing, you don't wanna leave the polisher there, then leave the pads over there, then leave the towels over there, then some compounds and polishes are at the end of the car, then you have your detail spray. You don't wanna do that. You don't need to move around the entire car looking for one item at a time. Keep everything in a centralized area as you move, or at least some designated area where you say, if I'm not using this, I'm gonna go put it over there. If I am using something, it's gonna be on me. But if I don't have it, it's gonna at least be somewhere where I just need to go to one spot and everything's gonna be there, instead of forgetting something over there, forgetting something over here, forgetting something over there. That'll add a lot of time to your detail. So have one centralized area for your products and tools. Tactic number 6 is ask the customer what's the one thing, their big one thing they want you to address during the detail. If it is paint correction, is there a certain panel? Is there a certain scratch that that's eating away at them? What is it that they really want you to focus on? Because if you spend 80% of your time on the entire interior, getting it looking great, but that 20% is the 20% the customer's gonna focus on, then yes, you did an amazing job everywhere else, but that one spot where they really wanted you to take care of, you missed it, or you just didn't spend as much time on it because you spent that time everywhere else. So just a real quick question, customer, what's the main thing that's bothering you? What's something you want me to focus on? That way you know exactly what to tackle and you can really meet their or exceed their expectations. The last tactic is don't work over yourself. A real simple example is if you're gonna clean the engine, then make sure you clean the engine first before you wash the car, because there's gonna be a bunch of dirt, APC, and water overspray from cleaning the engine. So if you wash the entire car first, then do the engine, you're gonna get the entire car dirty again, at least the front end. So start with the engine, then wash the car. Same thing with the wheels. That's why we start with the wheels first, because all the splatter, the brake dust, the tire, dirt that comes off the tire when we clean the wheels, it'll go onto the paints. And if we wash the car first, then the wheels and tires, then some of that splatter will get back on the vehicle and we're working over ourselves. So no matter what you're working on, make sure the steps, you aren't working backwards with your steps. You're gonna take one step, you're gonna get that over with, and you're not gonna have to return back to that step because it's done. You're no longer gonna return to it, you're not gonna work over yourself. Again, you can download all this simple checklist. Again, it's cut. It's usually, you can print it out full form, but this is just a cut checklist. Laminated, you can download this down in the description box below. Keep it with you at all times. Just leave it in your van. Leave it somewhere glued up on your shop or something. These simple 7 tactics will definitely help you reduce your detail time. I'm telling you, I use this every single time to try to beat down my time on all details that I perform. So definitely check this out, download below and put it to use. Other than that, leave your comments down below on some of the tactics and tips, some hacks that you do while you're detailing your cars to reduce your time spent on the car so you can make more money, or at least be more profitable during those details and time frames. So leave that comment down below, like this video, subscribe, check the link description down below for this little checklist here, and I'll see you on the next one.